Gentlemen, let's be honest. We've all been there, right? We're staring at that screen, hovering, looking at the buy it now button and wondering whether this fancy new piece of tech is going to be something that's really going to be a game changer, change our lives, or is it just going to be another one of those dusty things in the drawer, reminding you of broken dreams? Well, today we're getting answers. I've actually been wearing this Kindle Power supersized smartwatch for a couple weeks now, using it for both sports and daily life, and I'm going to tell you what I found, and some of it really did surprise me. I know what you might be thinking. Another smartwatch? What does it do? Does it tell time? Does it make phone calls? Does it count your steps? Does it secretly order pizza when you're too lazy to get up and go get it yourself? And sadly, the answer to that last one is no. But hold on, this isn't just an incremental change. This isn't just a shinier piece of last year's tech. This is a watch that's actually designed for people who do use smartwatch function. And honestly, it really shows in that design. Hey, if you get a chance, smash that hype button right now. It will really help out. From the moment I unboxed it and saw this giant watch, I knew this wasn't going to be just a basic review. Now, I did find in the process a couple hidden gems, and I found a couple sea monsters as well. Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, or the gorilla on your wrist. Check out this 1.85-inch screen. I mean, that's the size of the palm of my hand. I thought it might seem like I had a small tablet attached to my wrist, but it really didn't feel that way at all wearing it, and I don't think it looks ridiculous large. Now, it's actually expansive enough that I can read it without my glasses, which has turned into a real thing. You get a little older like I am, and it is amazing. I have 20/20 vision, but I can't read something right here in front of my face. It makes no sense to me. My doctor just says that's the way it is. So normally, I can't read watches. I can read this one clear as day. The image quality is very good. It is bright. It is easy to read. You can probably see as I scroll through the options on the menu here, super clear, easy to read. Everything from messages right on down to the maps and obviously the clock face. It's kind of like going from a dimly lit cave to a well-appointed living room. Everything is just basically easier to see and interact with. But what good's a big screen if the thing's always dead because it just doesn't have any battery power? So let me tell you, though this giant thing comes a giant battery, they claim 120 days. Now, I will tell you, my daily wear watch is a Pixel 3 super high-tech watch, and if I get 3 days out of the watch, it's stunning. 120 days, crazy ridiculous idea. I'm not testing it for you, but I can tell you I've worn it for a good solid 2 weeks straight, and I have not needed to recharge it yet. This is the apocalypse could hit. You could go weeks without power, but your watch is still going to tell you what your heart rate is, kind of battery power. Let's talk about the Bluetooth calling feature. So the Bluetooth calling feature is one of those things. I mean, it's definitely not bad, but it's not amazing either. The microphone is fine. The speaker is just fine. You can make out what the call is. It is not some audio amazing thing. It is not some amazing quality where somebody's going to be like, are you sitting in your living room? They're going to know you're talking on your watch, and it's going to sound like that to you. But it is still perfect for when you're like walking around the neighborhood, the phone's in your backpack or whatever, or in your pocket, and you just want to hit the button and talk. It works perfectly like that. For general fitness and health monitoring, it monitors your oxygen level, monitors your heart rate. The step count was in line with other models that I've tried. It's not like some super nav one, like if you want to do some like crazy running and track while you're running. That's really not its forte. It's just really designed for basic fitness, keeping track of your steps so you make sure you're staying active, watching your heart rate, watching your oxygen level, all those things. Basic functions, perfect. So before we get to the top 3 burning questions I found on the internet that people are wondering about this watch, if you want to get this, there is an option to use the link down below, maybe even on the screen. Neither one costs you anything extra. Please do use them if you're going to get this watch. I think it's a really good value. But let's talk about those questions that I've found on the internet. Okay, the number one most common question that I have found is it durable? So now I can only speak to 2 weeks of life, and it is definitely not marketed as military grade durable, that kind of stuff. But I've been normal, kind of clumsy, banging in a wall, moving around, that kind of stuff. I haven't scratched anything. I haven't gotten the impression it's falling apart. I've played sports. I wore it into the shower by accident once, and it has all been just fine. So I think it is definitely an appropriate level of durability for what we're expecting here. And then the most common question that I found around is, does it feel bulky? Does it look stupid? Does it feel too big on your wrist? And I have to say, now I am 6'2", right, and a guy, so maybe I'm a little larger than the average, but it is super comfortable. Definitely does not feel heavy, doesn't look bulky. The strap is kind of like super comfortable, but it definitely has kind of like a rubbery feel. I do like it has like a cool pattern, like kind of tire pattern on it, but that is the least quality looking part about this. Obviously, it's super easy to change out wrist straps. That's no big deal. Now, the one super kind of downside that I had with this is the screen is huge. It's vibrant. You can see everything. I love that. I told you it's easy to read, all those things, but I did find that the graphics aren't the crispest because obviously it is a huge screen and it probably has the same DPI as the smaller screens. So it looks a little more pixelated if you really look at it, but it's still super cool looking. It's impressive. A couple of my friends have said, oh, what do you got now? Because that's cool looking. And I have to say, it is a pretty darn cool watch. Definitely a very cool watch for what it actually costs. You should definitely get yourself one. Like I said, there's a link down below. Remember to like, subscribe. If you have any questions about it, feel free to put them down below. I'll try to answer them for you. And if you get a chance, hit that hype button. It's really important. Anyway, hope this was helpful. See you in the next video.